Hi everyone. In this video we'll talk about English as a global language. Communication is everywhere. Animals and creatures communicate in different ways. Of course, humans communicate as well. And we communicate by language. Different languages are spoken all over the world. English is the current global language. It has been there for years. The language was originated from England and was spread around the world by means of colonization. The question that comes to our mind is, what is a global language? What is the definition of a global language? The definition of a global language is a language which has been given a specific place within countries and communities around the world. Even in places like the UAE, where there are few native speakers, there is a chance for English to be the second or a foreign language. Of course, there are a lot of advantages for having a global language. The first advantage is another language added to many people's vocabulary. Then, global language is used in business and worldwide. With the global language, communication becomes easier because people will communicate with this language. And finally, the economy. The economy is driven in one language, which is, of course, easy. On the other hand, of course, there are some disadvantages for having a global language. The first disadvantage is it tends to benefit native speakers of the language only, and implications in the traditional of a country, most of the time included in other languages. Jobs runs almost only on the global languages. Loss of value of a language. Translation is needed. This pie chart represents the other languages that have influenced English language. Greek has 6% of English language. Germanic languages like Old Middle English, Old Norse, and Dutch have 26% of English language. French has 29%. Latin has 29% also of English language. 4% of English language is derived from proper names. 6% of English languages is derived from other languages and unknown languages. We will talk about Shakespeare's influence on English language. William Shakespeare was an English poet and playwright. He is the writer of the very famous romantic play Romeo and Juliet. Prior to and during Shakespeare's time, the grammar and rules of English were not standardized, but once Shakespeare's play became popular in the late 17th and 18th century, they helped contribute to the standardization of the English language. He invented over than 1,700 words by changing nouns into verbs, changing verbs into adjectives, connecting words never used together, adding prefixes and suffixes, and devising words wholly original. Now we will move to some Shakespearean words and phrases. Some words are very famous and are well known in today's world or in today's English. They are bedroom, to educate, critical, gloomy, engagement, and viewless. Some phrases or idioms like all our yesterdays, bag and package, which means with all the things that you have or you own, break the ice, give the devil his due, in my book of memory. And finally, I would like to thank you for listening to this video, and if you have any questions, just search for it. So, thanks.